Hello and welcome once again to the student concert at Newcastle University. I've been watching these every week when I'm not presenting. Um, they're amazing. And actually, when I watched Mariam's, she introduced who she was, which I hadn't thought to do last time because obviously they're going out to more than just the uni. So my name is Gustav Thomas, aka Will Edmonds, aka Gwilly Edmondes, aka a number of other things. I'm a senior lecturer here at Newcastle in contemporary performance, but I'm speaking to you from Jericho, where I live. Um, so here we go. It's the concert. I'm going to make a couple of announcements. Normally during the live concert when we have them every week in the King's Hall, I would give announcements here and there um, in between performances, but I don't think that really works so well. So yeah, sorry, I got distracted by a message there. I don't think that works so well for this format. So I'm just going to quickly say, I think Olivia is going to be posting the link to this feedback form for you on Canvas. So please, if you haven't already filled that out, could you please, am I meant to be recording this? Okay. Anyway, sorry. If you could please fill that out and get on with that. The other thing I wanted to announce for my students in the 1059 and 2059, some of you I spoke to this morning, we are going to postpone the performance until January. So makes a lot of sense for all kinds of obvious reasons that I won't have to go into here. All right, let's get started with some music and stop listening to me blabbering on about stuff incoherently and what have you. So the first performance we've got this afternoon is from Heather Goodfellow, and she's a fiddler, and she's going to be playing some tunes. I did write them down, but I'm sure she can introduce them to you. The first one, as far as I understand, is one that she's written herself, and then she's got some a couple of pieces. One's from Quebec, and there's a couple of Scottish fiddle pieces as well. So I'll try and get my brain together a bit better. Please welcome Heather Goodfellow.
Hiya, I'm Heather. This is Hannah. The first tune I'm going to play is a slow tune that I wrote for my neighbour, Ronnie McLeod. one is the first tune I learnt before I went to Quebec on my year abroad, and it's called Grand Pied. I think that's how you pronounce it. Called Big Feet. And then the next one is Splendid Isolation, and then into our last one, Ranny McLean's. Thank you.
Heather, can I clap really loudly for everybody? Can I ask you a really random general question first before we talk about the music?
Yeah.
what's going on with this house? I've seen it so many times now. Has anybody else picked up on it yet? That it's got that distinctive cloth on the wall. Do you all live there?
Yeah, there's 3 of us living here, and we're all on the folk degree in family.
Yeah, yeah. Whereabouts is that?
In Heaton.
Okay. What is the cloth? Whose is it?
I think it's Hannah's.
Okay. And has it got any sort of special significance? It must do, right?
It's just pretty. Yeah, it's just, liven the place up a bit. Yeah.
No, nothing could be more significant than that. So, I'm a little bit. We lost a little bit of sound right at the beginning, so I'm a little bit confused about. Obviously, the last 2 were the kind of Scottish reels and that kind of thing. Which was the one that you wrote?
That was the first.
Was it the first or the second?
Yeah, no, the first slow one.
Okay. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about that. Where's that coming for you? Coming to you? Where's that coming from to you, influence-wise? And what are you thinking with that? What's the name of it first?
So I don't actually have a name of it. It's written for my neighbour.
Okay.
And he was a really great piper, Scottish piper, and I don't know. I was just in my living room, and I had a drone on, so I piped drone, I guess. I think,
mm-hmm.
I don't know, and I just started playing.
It's so are you saying that it was written for him to play on the pipes, or is it written as a sort of as a gift to him to listen to?
Yeah, well, he's passed away last year.
Right.
So,
okay.
I just had I was just thinking about him, and then yeah.
So it's kind of an elegy.
Yeah.
Which I guess explains some of the sort of slightly more broad emotional aspect because it felt like a kind of a deeply emotional piece.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, that was great.
I don't know where
so untitled, yeah. So it could be called Untitled Composition in brackets for whoever this guy was.
Yeah.
Except you put his name in there rather than any random. What's your background with the fiddle? Is it something that you started? Did you have been playing this music a long time, or is it something more recent for you?
I started. I was trained classically at school, and then I didn't like that, so I started playing Scottish music. And yeah, I've been playing it for quite a few years. I don't know how long.
This is a mischievous question that I'm bound to ask, but what did you not like about classical or the lessons maybe?
I didn't like the lessons. I didn't like the teachers at my school. And
okay.
I don't know. I don't like how it's. No, I'm not going to say anything else.
No, I know. I'm wading into dangerous waters here, aren't I?
Yeah.
No, I guess I'm just always curious about music education because, unfortunately, and I think we all know this, it too often is a case of a young person's or a child's interest being closed down rather than opened up. So it sounds to me a little bit like that was your story.
Yeah, I had to really push hard for my teacher, who was in a Cayley band. She taught me classical. I had to push hard for her to teach me Scottish.
Yeah, okay. So what sort of age was that, the conversion across then?
Oh, it must have been maybe second year of high school.
Okay.
I don't know how old I was.
So it's been a while. And then once that happened, apart from your teacher, the Cayley teacher, was that something that was there a community that you were able to join where you could play or were you sort of on your own?
Yeah, so I actually went to Alistair Fraser and Natalie Haas's courses.
Okay.
Summer, in summer. I met Hannah there. And yeah, and going to sessions in Dundee, Glasgow.
Right.
I'm just yeah.
Are you from Dundee?
Yeah.
How does Donald Trump figure up there?
Oh, I think everybody hates him.
Well, apart from the blanket hatred, of course, because he's isn't that where his golf course is near Dundee, isn't it?
Or no, his golf course is somewhere else.
All right. Well, that was Aberdeen. Completely Aberdeen. All right. I'm not mixing those two up. Sorry. All right, thanks, Heather. Sorry about that. I don't want to end up on a Trump note, but at least he's gone, sort of. All right, that was brilliant. Thanks so much. I'm really, hey, I've just had a message to tell me that I've got a song being played on WFMU in New York right this moment. So you can go and tune in there if you want to listen to me. Okay, but of course you're not going to do that. We're going to carry on. And particularly because our next performer is Brooke Mullaney, who's somebody I do know quite well since we've crossed paths over our time at Newcastle together. So we can hear a bit more from Brooke about what she has sung when she sang it, if you see what I mean. It's an interesting program. I think she's going to introduce them. So please welcome Brooke Mullaney.
Someone told me that I'd want more, that I'd feel half empty, ripped and torn. They say there'll be plenty other hands to hold. Now I wish they told me long ago. Ooh, I don't want this to break you. Ooh, but I've got no one else to turn to. I don't know if you mean everything to me, and I wonder, can I give you what you need? Don't want to find I've lost it all, too scared to have no one to call. So can we just pretend that we're not falling into the deep end? You've gone quiet and you don't call, and nothing's funny anymore. And I'll keep trying to help you heal. I'll stop your crying and dry your tears. Ooh, I don't want this to break you. Ooh, but I've got no one else to turn to. I don't know if you mean everything to me, and I wonder, can I give you what you need? Don't want to find I've lost it all, too scared to have no one to call. So can we just pretend? Ooh, how do we mend? Ooh, didn't choose to depend on you. It's out of our hands. Maybe it will work out in the end. And I don't know if you mean everything to me, and I wonder, can I give you what you need? Don't want to find I've lost it all, too scared to have no one to call. So can we just pretend? I don't know if you mean everything to me, and I wonder, can I give you what you need? Don't want to find I've lost it all, too scared to have no one to call. So can we just pretend that we're not falling into the deep end? clear waters, deep and true, lies the answers and a path for you. Dive down deep into her sound, but not too far or you'll be drowned. Yeah, she will sing to those who hear, and in her song all magic flows. But can you brave what you most fear? Can you face what the river knows? Where the north wind meets the sea, there's a mother full of memory. Come, my darling, homeward bound. When all is lost, then all is found. I wanna be rich and I want lots of money. I don't care about clever, I don't care about funny. I want lots of clothes and fuckloads of diamonds. I heard people die while they're trying to find them. And I'll take my clothes off and it will be shameless, 'cause everyone knows it's how you get famous. I look at the sun and I look in the mirror. I'm on the right track, yeah, I'm on to a winner. I don't know what's right and what's real anymore, and I don't know how I'm meant to feel anymore. When do you think it will all become clear? 'Cause I'm being taken over by the fear. Life's about film stars and less about mothers. It's all about fast cars and cussing each other. But it doesn't matter, 'cause I'm packing plastic, and that's what makes my life so fucking fantastic. And I am a weapon of massive consumption, and it's not my fault, it's how I'm programmed to function. I look at the sun and I look in the mirror. I'm on the right track, I'm on to a winner. I don't know what's right and what's real anymore, and I don't know how I'm meant to feel anymore. When do you think it will all become clear? 'Cause I'm being taken over by the fear. Forget about guns and forget ammunition, 'cause I'm killing them all on my own little mission. Now I'm not a saint, but I am not a sinner. Now everything's cool as long as I'm getting thinner. I don't know what's right and what's real anymore, and I don't know how I'm meant to feel anymore. And when do you think it will all become clear? 'Cause I'm being taken over by the fear.
Amazing, Brooke. Wow. So what's happening here? Get the phone out, stick it on the piano, and just start singing, right?
Well, I actually had a totally different set with my brother on the electric guitar, and
Uh-huh.
I hated it so much because I've been so ill and I could like barely breathe, never mind sing, and I just hated this set that me and my brother did. So like a day before it was due in, I was just like, right, well, I'm just gonna put the phone down and boss it. And they were the first three songs that came to mind,
No
and
way.
you can tell by the end of the song I was just done with this. I was like, I'm just gonna have fun. Like I'm just gonna try and have fun with everything and just I don't know, just loosen up a bit.
Yeah, totally. Well, that's how it felt to you. Certainly to me, and I guess to a lot of other people in the audience, it was like, yeah, she's really getting into her stride now. And man, you just stuck the phone on the piano and kicked ass, basically. Brooke, Brooke
Kind of.
delivered. Yeah, that was really impressive. I mean, that was to me immediately kind of on the sort of visceral level. That was like, oh yeah, there's nothing fancy going on here, but you're going to sing. And you told us you told me you were going to play bad piano, but I didn't hear any bad piano either. So
Oh, honest to God, I could hear all of the times where, because I had my iPad, like you could see in my glasses, like
yeah,
the two reflections, and I
yeah.
had my iPad on my piano, and I had to keep like scrolling down for the chords.
No
Um,
way.
and
Jeez.
I was like staring, looking for this chord, and then like a tiny bit of lag coming in, and then I pressed the wrong note somewhere and the wrong octave, and like it's little things that I can hear, and anyone who's like boss at piano will be able to hear.
No, well, yeah. Forget about that because I mean, accompanying yourself as a vocalist is a thing in itself, and if you can do it that well, it felt great. It felt great. Total pro, man. So yeah, and actually, one of your own comments was the face of concentration. I didn't see that. You look so relaxed.
Oh, because I'm like staring into my iPad, like from the awkward double chin angle.
So you were preparing something with your brother on guitar.
Yeah.
So I mean, because to me, what that felt like was like a really it's like a really professional delivery by somebody in their slippers in the living room. Do you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, if you want to catch us off guard at home, I'm still going to deliver. Do you know what I mean? So, but obviously you're not planning to perform like that for the final thing. What do you what if we're in a situation come May, June, where you can perform live? What have you got in mind in terms of how to present it and stuff?
It would definitely not be me at a piano. I would definitely find someone way more talented because it's also
Okay.
just, I find when I accompany myself, I don't focus on my voice as much.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, I'm getting marked on my voice, not my piano skills. So I'd definitely find someone like good on the piano, probably Haley. Haley, I've said it now, you're doing it. And I'd probably get like my brother on the electric guitar, my other brother on drums. Like I would probably just have that little set. And I also bought some like push controllers and stuff, so I'd try and like add some of that in as well, just if I can get the hang of it.
Yeah, okay, push controllers, because actually you're a songwriter, and you and obviously last year went to SH1T, so we didn't really see the final results of what happened, but you know, you were developing some pretty cool material in that module. So, are you playing any of your own stuff?
Yeah, I've still tried really hard to write songs, because it was funny because last year I was like, I'm not a songwriter, I don't write songs, and you were like, of course you are, I can tell. And then all of a sudden, like, I was coming out with songs just like in the middle of the night, I'd wake up and be like, oh my God, I have to write this down. I have to like play this out.
Yeah,
And it was just like coming to us, like, I feel like when I sit down and try and do it, it doesn't work. I have to just like, as weird and hippie as it sounds, I feel like just wave of inspiration come to me. And all of my songs so far have just been like on the piano and me singing, but I think I'm gonna try and do some more stuff on like Pro Tools with the midis and stuff, and get my my brothers recorded in and stuff.
I wrote a song for my dad, and it was on the piano. So obviously it was like, it seemed more like emotional than it was, and he actually cried, which was quite funny because my dad doesn't cry, and I found it like more funny than like heartwarming, and then I like made my dad cry.
So hang on, he cried and you laughed.
Yeah.
Does that kind of sum up your relationship, would you say?
Well,
Your
me and
dad?
my dad are really close, and he always pushed us to do music because he knew that everybody else was trying to make us do something else, something more like worthwhile. And he was always one that said that if you really want to do this, you've got to do it. You've got to like throw yourself into it. So like the song was just about like how like he had always been like the one thing in my life that like never changed. He was always consistent, which I was really thankful for, and it wasn't like super soppy emotional, but obviously it was to him because like he's got this child who, you know, he's never had to push to do anything, like to go to school. I've always just went, and like all of a sudden he's crying, and he doesn't cry. Like my dad, I think I've seen him cry twice in my life, and one actually was when I got my provisional license. So it was really weird for me.
Yeah, I want to ask why he cried because he got a provisional license. Well, I'll tell you what, you've got a full license now to bring the noise come May. So, so thanks, Brooke. Thanks. That was brilliant. I have to keep scrolling to the top because I've been really stupid here and haven't made a note of who's next except for the top. So next is, we're going to be listening to Luke Carey next. Luke Carey's a guitarist, and oh yeah, thanks, Olivia's just said next up is Luke. Luke Carey's going to be playing a few numbers that actually I didn't introduce the titles for Brooks, and everybody knew what they were anyway. There's one track maybe from Luke's set that people won't necessarily recognize, but I'll leave him to deliver in a musical way, and then we can talk afterwards. Please welcome Luke Carey.
Nothing
Hey, thanks, Luke. That was great. When I was in year 9, the rival band at school was called Royal Bones, and I always want to call Royal Blood Royal Bones, and I'm still waiting for Royal Bones to arrive for real. And I got a bunch of questions. What was I going to say first? Yeah, oh well, this isn't what I was going to ask first, but I am going to ask this. So, your guitar setup, what have you got? What are you playing there?
So I'm playing my Variax James Tyler edition,
Okay.
and then like I'd picked the bed up, pushed it to the side.
So that is what we saw. So we're in the same room.
Yeah, that's the backdrop.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, tapestry, but yeah.
Yeah. I thought it looked like it was a bed on the wall, but I thought no, it's obviously your wine rack but there's no wine in it because you can't afford it or you don't drink or something. You know what? It's funny because when it comes to sound and aesthetics, right? If I'm hearing something as it is presented, then I take that as face value. And obviously, you work in difficult circumstances here, so technically, in a normal sense, it wasn't a perfect sound, right? But I absolutely loved that. I love the way that Sam was just slightly low in the mix. It reminded me of a Japanese stoner band called High Rise. You should check them out. Or even there was a first year student put me on to 7 Minutes of Nausea, who were kind of like a hardcore, like grindcore band. And I was listening to an album of theirs that just is atrociously recorded in a technical sense. So maybe you could bear that in mind because I thought it sounded great. So everybody seemed to know the whole song. I mean, people seem to be kind of. Tell us about your program and what you're putting together. Is what's the thinking behind your program planning?
Well, at first I was just going to stick to Royal Blood songs, and then like the band that was playing, like I just jokingly named it Loyal Blood, and it was literally just for this student concert. But then I realized I asked Sam like if she was able to play Celebrity Skin by Hole, and then she was like, "Oh my god, I love that song!" So. Yeah. And then just went ahead and recorded it and changed it because I was going to do 10-Ton Skeleton by Royal Blood, but yeah, I just voted against it myself, and I thought it suited the vibe more.
So what you're saying, are you going with Loyal Blood as the name?
Possibly. I mean, it's only like a tribute. It was going to be a tribute thing, but yeah, like I guess we're presenting as Loyal Blood.
Thinking of names, right, is one of those weird. It's like a nervous tick for me at this stage in my life. I spent my whole life doing this SH1T, and this morning I was walking down the stairs and I came up with Crippling Death. It's probably been done, but I thought because it's like Creeping Death by Metallica, but also Crippling Debt. But there you go. If anybody wants to use that, let me know. You can have that. It's a freebie. It comes free with the concert today. And who are you? I really like your basic style. It's kind of loose and it's kind of relaxed. So, what's your history with guitar? What sort of age did you start playing? And who are the most inspirational guitarists for you, apart from What's His Face out of Royal Bones?
Yeah. So I started playing guitar when I was like 9, and I actually started playing classical guitar. And then just as I like progressed, like and got older, and then got these new opportunities with like different music organizations, like because I come from Manchester, it's quite big in like Salford, so like, and that's where I live. And then I actually joined a big band, like a jazz band, before I delved into rock. And then when I was like 16 to 18 was kind of my rock phase, and I was like in and out of different rock bands. And yeah, it's kind of, I think this set for me was kind of like a little throwback to that period of my life. But mainly I am actually a jazz guitarist.
Okay. What does that mean? So what are you actually playing for the final performance then?
It's a lot of I think I'm just doing a few jazz arrangements from like Miles Davis and
right,
Charlie Christian and that.
I honestly thought you were saying that your final show in the spring is going to be all royal bones except all royal blood except for the whole song. So you're doing jazz guitar for the final performance then? Okay.
Yeah. I just I thought I'd do this for a bit of flavor.
Yeah. Who are your kind of heroes on the jazz guitar front then? Do you go like Mike Stern and people like that from Miles Davis's bands, or is it?
I guess one could be Charlie Christian, but it's honestly the most inspirational people for me have been my tutors. And currently now it's Mick Wright. Like I would say he is my inspiration.
Yeah. He's one of my inspirations as well, I have to be honest.
Yeah.
If you ever get onto talking about contemporary English literature as well, then you're in for a trip, that's for sure. I just want to ask you another boring question about tech, actually, because this is an endless question, really. What are the distortion pedals, or what is the distortion pedal that you're using?
It's actually a Boss pedal board. I'll just show it here.
Yeah, okay. Nice.
One of them ones.
Yeah, all right, okay, yeah. That's interesting. And obviously you feel that well, I guess when it comes to the jazz performance, that's not really, I mean, what effects are you going to imply for that? If anything?
Honestly, not many. Like I do try and like delve into it a bit. But like obviously the pedal board and like every other guitar effect focuses on more like distorted sounds, and if it's kind of a more like a heavy, like a dark jazz type thing, but that's just not what I do anyway.
Yeah, dark jazz, like Dark Magus by Miles Davis. Do you know that record? That's insane. Yeah. Well, listen, I'll show you mine because you showed me yours. So go to Curvy Sounds, buy a Woolworths guitar. That's advertising right there. Curvy Sounds, Heaton. Go and get yourself a Woolworths guitar. None of this fancy nonsense that Luke Carey's playing. All right, thanks, Luke. That was great. So the last performance is going to be Rosie, and I'm going to. It's completely pointless actually, because I could look at her picture and see that she's called Rosie McMorrow, but so I'll start scrolling back down at the bottom of the comments. So Rosie has got an interesting set. She's a singer, and she's going to be playing some Foray and some Hamilton Hearty. So we can hear a bit more about those guys once we've heard it. So please welcome Rosie McMorrow.
Hi, I'm Rosie, and first I'm going to be singing Au bord de l'eau by Foray. Ce soir tout au bord du flot qui passe, les voir passer, tout doux s'y glisse un nuage en l'espace, les voir glisser, à l'horizon c'est le singing Sea Rack by Hamilton Harty, accompanied by Daisy Sitlani on the piano. Was dark and shiny, where it floated in the sea. There was no one in the brown boat, but only him and me. Him to cut the sea rack, me to mind the boat, and not a word between us, the hours we were afloat. The wet rack, the sea rack, the rack was strong to cut. We laid it on the grey rocks to wither in the sun. And what should call my lad then to sail from Cushandun with a long moon, a full tide, a swell upon the deep. Him to sail the old boat, me to fall asleep. The dry rack, the sea rack, the rack was dead so soon. There's a fire low upon the rocks to burn the rack to kelp. There a boat gone down upon the Moyle, and sorrow one to help. Him beneath the salt sea, me upon the shore. I sunlight, oh moonlight, will lift the rack no more. The dark rack, the sea rack, the rack may drift ashore.
Lovely. Thanks, Rosie. So, yeah, that was great. I've not actually been concentrating on the questions that people are asking, I'm afraid, but I'll skim through while we're talking. But so this second piece, then, that's really interesting, right? I know we talked about it before, Hamilton Harty, and I know you don't know much about him. I give him a quick Google. I gave him a quick Google. That sounds kind of dirty, right? But yeah, and he's an Irish composer from like the late 19th century, I guess. So how did you choose that? Where did that come from?
Well, basically, for my final recital, I'm trying to sort of follow a theme of music about the sea and water.
Okay.
And obviously, when it comes to sort of the classical performance thing, you have to have a fair balance of languages. And I needed more English song, and it just sort of fit really well, and it kind of fit my range, and I just liked it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's nice. So what else is on this program then? If it's all about the sea?
Well, my main sort of work I'm doing Elgar's sea pictures, which is sort of the kind of main bit of it, and then just sort of filling it with other sort of, there's a lot of music about water,
Yeah.
sort of fill that with, and it's all right. I quite like it. Yeah.
It's firmly within the classical repertoire. I'm thinking
Yeah.
songs about water. I'm thinking about there's something. Kate Bush. There's no Kate Bush.
I wish. No, sadly not.
Yeah. Do you wish though? Would you like to? Would?
Well,
So do you
yeah.
not have that coming? I'm not familiar with the kind of protocols for the recital that in the end of things that you're doing, but would you not be allowed to sort of work that in a sort of
I don't think so.
a kind of an arrangement?
Well, I've always wanted to, but obviously I think because of the way that the degrees work and because they're sort of separated, the repertoire you get to cover within each one is fairly limited. I'd love if I could do more of a mishmash of genres, but I don't think I'd get very good marks for it.
That's well, it's not my area, but it's been a good 30 or 40 years since people like the Kronos Quartet have been performing things like Hendrix in classical concert halls. So I'm kind of amazed to hear that, to be fair. But there you go. Yeah, okay. So what else? What are I mean, is it all staying within that kind of period as well? Because you seem to be quite at home with that kind of musical language.
Sort of. I'm doing bits and bobs from different parts. I'm doing some Mozart, and then I mean I prefer singing romantic music because as a mezzo, there's just a lot more repertoire written for me, and I just find it a lot prettier, really. So yeah, just stuff from various sort of periods.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. What Mozart then have you got that's about the sea or about water?
Oh, I'm doing, well, hopefully I'm doing a trio from Così fan tutte.
Okay.
Which should be really nice, and it's very short, but it's just like these three people waving their boyfriends off to sea, which should be quite fun.
Cool.
But yeah.
When you say you're doing a trio, does that mean you've got the other voices as well in the live performance, if it is live? Ideally,
I would, but I'm sort of having to plan around that if I'm not able to do it, and if I wasn't able to have any other people with me, I'd probably have to pre-record their parts and play them and just sort of sing along.
Right. And so that would be sourcing singers from within the department or people. Yeah. Okay.
It's quite easy, to be fair.
Yeah. No. It is. I mean, there's this vaccine thing going around, in the news. I don't want to be too optimistic, but it does seem as if we might be able to have some live performance by the end. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's really interesting. I mean, your voice definitely seems to suit that kind of repertoire, and I thought it was really. I thought what you sang was great. The Hamilton Hearty was really interesting as well because it's. I mean, how did you even find it? That's what I'm still curious about, because it's a really obscure piece of music.
Yeah, I mean, I was sort of just directed to it by my teacher,
right? Okay.
Which is sort of the way it goes for this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I really liked it, and I don't know. I think with, especially when you're trying to find a theme, teachers seem to know more kind of obscure songs that they can show, which is quite helpful.
I mean, when you're singing this foray, I'm thinking that, I mean, obviously, well, that's French, obviously, so that you need English stuff. I mean, Delius must have some songs with that vocal range, I would have thought.
Yeah.
Sorry?
I love Delius.
Yeah, okay. Is he somebody that you think you might be able to squeeze a song out of?
I mean, I've never looked at his vocal stuff. I've only ever sort of looked at his cello music.
His
But-
songs are great. His songs are great. Really, really worth checking out.
Cool.
Does Mussorgsky write for a female voice much? I only know his stuff for baritone or bass, but
I'm not really sure. I think, well, the thing with a lot of songs for mezzos is that they normally are sort of originally written for baritones, but just put up the
Okay.
octave.
uh-huh.
Same way it is for sort of tenors and sops, which is kind of, I normally end up singing about women because all my songs are from the perspective of men. So I don't think it would matter too much.
How much license would you have, especially if you were singing in Russian, to switch the genders?
I don't know. I don't know if I could quite hack Russian.
Right. It could be a challenge.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely recommend the Mussorgsky songs. They're really, there's some deep stuff going on in those. Hey, that was brilliant. Thanks, Rosie. Thanks, everybody. I love doing these concerts, and I love watching them when I'm not presenting them. So I'll be watching next week. Stay safe. Switch off your mobile phones. Go to the pub when it's open. Whatever. I'll see you all soon. Cheers. Bye. Bye. Bye.